On this week's show, the new fly fisher crew visits Terrace, BC to fish the mighty Skeena River. The Skeena River, long known as the River of Mists, is located over 600 air miles north of Vancouver, BC, and is the second largest river system in the province. The Skeena is as close to a perfect fishery as you can get. It has Chinook salmon, chum salmon, coho salmon, pink salmon, sockeye salmon, and the best of all, in my opinion, steelhead. There are also healthy populations of dolly varden and cutthroat trout in the tributaries. Joining me today is Gil McKean of West Coast Fishing Adventures. We're using two-handed rods today, and I'm a novice at this type of casting, but with Gil's expert instruction, I'm sure I'll be successful.
Just another little run on the Skeena River here. We're looking for summer run steelhead. Well, there's coho going through the system right now. And we're in August the 25th today, or 26th, I think. And the majority of the summer runs are in the Skeena at this point in time. They're still migrating to all the tributaries, the famous Babine River, the Bulkley River, the Kispiox, the Maurice, the Sustut. These fish are all heading in that direction. And there's no better place to catch those fish than right here on their turf and fight them fish to man, man to fish. There's one, steelhead. That was a steelhead. Watch yourself, he's gonna get in your legs. Woohoo! He barely even hit that. That's the lightest little bite, Tom. Steelhead on the Skeena River. That's what everybody talks about right here. We wait for years. Some people lay in bed dreaming about doing this stuff. And he's gone. Lost him. Yep. Okay, so we got, here we've got the Skagit head. And then we've got the 10-foot chunk of T14. That's nice what they do here with this, Tom, because they put the loop on the end. So you just tie a double surgeon and you go loop to loop connection.
Right.
And then you're gonna go to your, I taper that down from 25, or sometimes you can use 30-pound butt section. 25 is fine. You always want a breaking point so you're not busting off your whole head. I'd rather break the tippet off. So I usually go 25, 30, and then I taper that down to 15 pound and I just tie a blood knot. And there you go. And then we tie what you would call
Non-slip monoloop.
Yep. And what I've called a uni knot, but we'll just leave it at that. And then it just gives that fly a lot of movement. And we pinched our barb because we're single barbless here in BC. And we're about to go chase some monster steelhead on the Skeena River, Tom.
I can't wait.
Let's go get them.
You know, people get hung up on fly pattern and casting because casting's fun and we all love flies. But the important things in fishing for salmon and steelhead are really fly speed and fly depth. So the swing speed and the depth at which the fly is swinging are far more important than the fly pattern or how your casting looks in the water. So pay a lot of attention to how the fly is swinging and how deep it's swinging.
There you go. That's a coho.
Yeah, he took it on the strip. You sure that's a coho? So this is my first Pacific salmon here on the Skeena River. Took it on the strip.
Yeah, that's
beautiful
a big silver.
coho salmon, nice and bright from the ocean.
Nice fish, Tom.
Nice bright fish.
Yeah, real bright.
You try to lead him. Oh, that was a dumb move. That was a dumb
You got it on
move.
the egg-sucking leech, eh?
Yeah, they ate the egg-sucking leech.
I think that changing that tip probably made a bit of difference, though.
Yeah,
You know, that's what it's all about in this game. You got to get down. If you don't want to be dredging the bottom, but
this is interesting.
that's interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen that done before.
This is very interesting.
Oh my goodness.
I can't get it.
Yeah, that is a technique that I have not seen done before.
Oh, this, I have this special, boy, right in the corner of the mouth.
Yeah.
I have this special technique. You wrap the line around the fish and it confuses them.
It's like, well, it's called hog tying them, eh?
Yeah, and it's easier to get them in because it confuses them. They don't know where the pulls come from and they just come right in. Piece of cake.
Nice fish, bud.
Yeah, that's pretty fish.
Yeah.
Pretty bright fish, sharp teeth.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. Oh, what do you think of that, mister?
Good, I'll release him.
There you go.
All right.
You got him?
Yeah, got him. Okay, buddy.
Off you go. Ooh, that was fun.
Right on, buddy.
Thank you.
Good one. Beautiful. That's a big steelhead. Hey, Tom, it's a big steelhead, buddy.
What's that?
Big steelhead.
Yeah, nice.
That's what she's all about, buddy. People way awake at night in beds all over the world wanting to do this some days. Someday, I mean. I'm just a little shaken up. This is the second one of the day, actually. I've had a few other takes, but they seem to be getting away on us. So maybe we'll get a look at this guy. This looks like about a 17, 18-pound steelhead. This is a true summer run, folks. These are the fish that dreams are made of right here. People wait for years to catch something like this. Might need a hand, Tom. You know what I think I got here, actually? This might even be a big northern coho. I'll tell you again here in a second, but it's either a big chrome northern coho, and if it's a coho, it's a big boy, I'll tell you that. He's got some weight. He's using all of this rod. And that is what it is. That is a big beast of a coho there. He's tired. There he is. And there it is. A nice coho on the Skeena River in Terrace, British Columbia on the spay rod. I'm on a lamprey pattern. So we're just gonna let this guy go. Gonna go make some babies. There he goes. No harm done there.
So Gil, we've got this giant river here, the Skeena. How can we possibly catch a steelhead when there's so much water?
Well, Tom, you gotta break it down. You gotta look for different structure, and you look for structure and you look for a funnel. A narrow point in the river, and then where they come up out of heavy, fast water, and they need to slow down long enough, and you can get a good swing. The water, the way I describe the flow of the water that you're looking for, it's a nice, flat, even tabletop surface almost, with broken, cobbly stones, and it's flowing almost at a fast walk. Like if you can visualize that and just see the speed of the water here, as you know, we look here, you can see it. The inside is nice and soft and ripply, and if you go out any further, it's actually pushing very, very hard. So that's how we break it down. You need to find the lane, Tom, in order to get into the fish consistently. These are migrating fish. They're not holding fish. They'll stop for a rest. They may stop for a break, but they're going to continue on in their migration to all the legendary tributaries of the Skeena River. That's a good fish. We got summer run steelhead, coho, sockeye, pinks. They've all made their way through the river. We're seeing the peak of the summer run steelhead right now. These are the peak dates from now till about the end of September. You get what I consider the true summer run steelhead coming through. He ain't happy, this guy. That's a good fish. Oh, that's a nice steely, boys. Summer run steelhead. It don't get any better than this right here. The tips you use on your line and getting down to these fish is critical. If you're not getting down, and you're not in the zone, you're not gonna get them. This guy ain't even that big, but you know what? That's a butt-kicking fish, man. Well, we're gonna let this bad boy go. Another summer run steelhead right there. That's the second one of the day.
Here we have a variety of common steelhead patterns. This is the Skycomish Sunrise, which is a very traditional steelhead fly developed in the 1940s. It was one of the first flies to catch winter steelhead. This is a spade type fly with flowing hackle. These kind of flies are often used in cold water and in slower flows. They sink really well and they have a lot of action in the water. This is an egg fly which imitates salmon or steelhead eggs. It's usually fished dead drift under an indicator. Then we have a nymph. These are also fished dead drift under an indicator, similar to the way egg flies are fished. And here's the famous BC intruder fly. This is a dark one. This one would be used most often on dark days or in discolored water. And then we have a brighter intruder for brighter days and clear water.
Salmon and steelhead are very aggressive fish and they'll strike anything that gets in their way. This brightly colored spin and glow used on conventional rod is weighted to the bottom with a big heavy weight. It spins around in the current. The fish come by, they see it, and they grab it. This intruder fly does the same thing. This is what we use on a fly rod for salmon and steelhead. It's brightly colored, it's big, it's obnoxious, but we can't weight this to the bottom with a fly rod and wait for the fish to come by. We have to cast it out there on a sinking line and let that fly slide through in the current to get in front of the fish to make them strike. But the principle is the same. You got a brightly colored, obnoxious thing that gets in their way that they're gonna strike. That's a steelhead.
Yeah! Hey, double header.
Baby.
Let him go. If he wants line, just let him go.
I will, don't worry.
We got a double header, Tom.
Wow. Oh, he's coming back, or else I lost him.
Coming right back at you.
Yeah.
Man, he's swimming right at you.
Yeah. He is. Ho! Skeena River steel. Oh, that's got to be a
No
steelhead.
jump yet, eh?
I'm gonna get on.
Tom, my bull trout, my Dolly Varns, I can't believe that you take the stage like that.
What's that?
I can't believe you take the stage like that and try and trump me.
You've been taking the stage for 2 days, man.
Like, I'm up here trying to catch trout and you're off just catching these steelhead.
That's why I didn't put on the 5 weight.
Well, so I guess you want me to break this little trout off.
I do.
Come and help me
I
with
don't
your
care.
steelhead.
If you really want to play with that little trout, you'd be my guest.
Oh, Tom.
You be my guest, bud.
Give some credit to the Dolly Varn.
You be my guest. You play with those dollies.
Tom.
Oh, that's a nice steelhead.
It's a beautiful fish, buddy. I seen him cartwheeling out there.
Yeah.
That was totally impressive. But I'm gonna shake my dolly off.
Oh, don't do that.
This measly 1
Don't
pound
do
dolly,
that.
just so I can come and help you, okay? We're just gonna let him go anyway, Tom.
Yep. Here he comes. Get his head up. There.
There we
Yes! Yeah, baby! All right.
Well, that ain't bad for your first one on the Skeena, my friend.
First Skeena River steelhead. A nice
there.
chrome, bright fish, too.
I like that nice sparse little fly you use there too. That's great. Well, here we are on the Skeena River. We've put our time in today to get the fish that we've got, but when you get one, they're a quality fish. This is what it's all about right here. Skeena River chrome, man. Hey, Tom, this is a beautiful fish. Oh, he's got himself wrapped up in the line here now. There he goes, that's better. Here he comes, Tom. On a black intruder pattern, black and purple, actually. And there it is, right there. This is why we put all our time in. These fish are precious to the area, to the resource. People come from all around the world for fish like that right there. People lay in bed, they read books, they study. And there it is right there. You can't get much better than that. There she goes. No harm done.
Nice. Nice. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of The New Fly Fisher. I certainly have, catching steelhead with Gil McKean of West Coast Fishing Adventures in British Columbia. Don't forget to visit our website for more information at www.thenewflyfisher.com. See you next time.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to Hawk Air, Tourism British Columbia, Islander Precision Reels, and Orvis Sporting Traditions.